alas, heave-ho, it's a long, long way to go. It's a long, long pull with our hatches full.
I joined the Merchant Marine on my 19th birthday, based on me having a commercial FCC license. That's all I needed. And then the next thing, I was assigned to a ship on my birthday. The first ship was my most exciting ship. It was called the Lawrence D. Tyson. I even got the history of it from the Coast Guard. I went up into Algiers. It was also, the first trip was really two trips, because we unloaded in Algiers, which was the headquarters of the Allied officers at the time. And then we loaded up in Europe from another ship, and we went into the Middle East. We carried jeeps and trucks, tanks. It was a very rare, very varied thing. I don't remember us carrying any ammunition. They gave us code books, and we get messages in code. And these messages, as far as I'm concerned, was unbreakable. I don't care about anything else you said about messages. They weren't, because you had a book, and then you get 5 letters that were part of the code. And you looked it up in a book. If you didn't have the book, there was no way you could tell what the 5 letters were. They were absolutely perfect. The only thing is, it took long to decipher a message. You have to have a watch 24 hours a day. So I was a second operator, and the watch was the same as the second mate and the second engineer, 12 to 4. And we had 112 ships in that convoy. When we got to Europe, part of the convoy split off, and 90 of us went into the Mediterranean, 2 side by side. Going across the ocean, we were very wide. 4 ships, and then the rest of us spread out this way. It was the easiest way to defend the ships. We had these destroyer escorts protecting it. We couldn't zigzag, so we had to go on a straight line. When on one of my 12 to 4 watch, we got a message from the convoy commander that we're going to change course in the middle of the night. So I told the captain right away, we're going to change course at such and such a time. The captain rushed up to the bridge to make sure we didn't bump into another ship when we made change course. And there was no accident. The whole convoy changed successfully a different course. From being wide to get into the Mediterranean, we went side by side, 2 ships, so we had a very long line. I had a 12 to 4 watch, and we were coming in at night. So when I finished my watch, I saw in the distance the ships in front of us, the traces were going up. Every third shell, every 20 millimeter third shell was a tracer. So you could see the traces, and they moved very slowly to my eye. They were moving fast, but the distance, they only had so much height to them. And I saw the traces coming closer and closer, and I was off watch, and I was watching this thing. And then when they were coming closer, I said, you know, Jesus, they're shooting you up in the sky. They're going to be coming down. So I was running in and out of cover so to protect my head from the thing. And when I looked at the sky, I couldn't see any planes. Afterwards, I asked the gunners. I said, I didn't see the planes. Did you see the planes? He said, we didn't see the planes. We saw the stars being cut out. They saw it because the stars were being cut out. That's how they saw the enemy planes. And we got credit for shooting it down. I didn't see any plane catching fire or anything. I was told afterwards that it was witnessed that one of our guns brought it down. I think one of the big guns brought it down. I'm very grateful to having the armed guard. They handle the guns. We handle the ships. They handle the guns. They had to be there in front of their guns in more danger than I was. And the combat bar is for being in direct action. The convoys, ships that were in my convoy that was attacked, did not get the combat bar. You had to shoot down a plane or the plane had to drop a bomb on you. You had to be in direct action because of the armed guard shooting down that plane. Everybody in the ship got a combat bomb. I never was afraid. To me, the whole thing was an adventure. The only thing I was afraid of that I'd be hit. But otherwise, I was never really scared. It was all a big adventure. I got off the streets in Brooklyn, and here I am on a ship. You know, the Merchant Marine, I joined in 1944. So the people that were in the Merchant Marine in 1941, they're the ones that got the high dangerous. They're the ones who got knocked out. They didn't have the armed guard. Their ships weren't armed. Every ship that I sailed on in beginning of March of 1944 had guns on it and the armed guard on it to manage it. I didn't quit the Merchant Marine. I stayed on it. I didn't take any jobs till I got off the Merchant Marine. I kept on shipping because I liked it. It was adventurous to me. I loved it. I loved going to foreign countries. Also, what's strange is the best job on a ship is the radio officer. Not because he doesn't get the best pay, but it's the best job. Because we're in port, they didn't need the radio operator, so I had a lot of shore time. Every time the ship was docked, I went ashore and I didn't have to work. Others on the ship had to work. So I had it good that way. Oh, during the World War II, I only sailed on 2 ships. I made 5 trips on my first trip, and I got it off after 5 trips. And then I took one other ship, and while I was on that one last ship, the war ended in Japan. I sailed until I was quite old. I was 86 when I got my last ship. Well, to me, the Merchant Marine is a historical profession. Christopher Columbus was in the Merchant Marine. And it's necessary, it's part of Homeland Security in peace and in war. It still continues that the Merchant Marine in war is absolutely necessary. Not only in World War II, but the Afghan War, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, wherever we got troops. You don't want foreign flag ships to carry American cargo to American servicemen. The American Merchant Marine goes with their shooting or not shooting, peace or war. If there's a war going on and they're shooting at the ship, the American ships is going to it. It ain't gonna stop because the other foreign ships, they say it's not their war, they ain't gonna risk their lives. But the American Merchant Marine will risk their lives to provide the American troops out there.
Let the sea roll high or low. We can cross any ocean, sail any river. Give us the goods and we'll deliver. Damn the submarine. We're the men of the